All right guys, today I'm going to show you how I like to cook a steak using a pellet grill. It is one of my favorite methods to cooking a steak because it yields fantastic results and it is so simple. Now if you have a pellet smoker, you know how nice it is having that quick and easy, just turn it on to the temp you want, cooking ability, but you can't really sear on it. Some of them you can, most of the times it's going to be difficult to sear. So most of the times with a steak, you're not thinking of using the pellet grill. Well, today I'm going to show you how I like to use my pellet grill and cook a absolutely delicious steak. So the choice of steak I'm going to be cooking today is a beef ribeye steak. Now this is not any ordinary ribeye steak. This is from the Ozark Valley Beef Company. They have American Wagyu beef and they are a fantastic company that is doing great things. I highly recommend checking them out and trying some of their beef out. It is absolutely delicious and is a great American company doing fantastic things the right way. If you do check out Ozark Valley Beef, make sure to use my discount code SMOKESTACKJOES and you will get a discount on your order. I have tried plenty of their steaks already and they are delicious. Like I said, you will not regret ordering some of these. So let's go ahead, get this opened up, seasoned, so we can get it out on the pellet smoker. All right, so let's get our steak opened up and just check out the beautiful marbling we have on the steak. That's what you get with the American Wagyu steak. Now with such a high quality piece of meat, we're going to go super simple with seasoning. Just some salt, and you can really just leave it at that. I like to throw a little extra salt on the fatty areas, but I love me some black pepper, so I'm going to put a light coating of that on as well. And we're going to want to get both sides. Some more of that salt. This is just kosher salt. Again, extra on the fat. And then a light coating of the black pepper. And that is that. So let's go ahead and get this out onto our pellet grill. All right, so I'm going to be using my Z-Grill's pellet smoker for this cook today. I've already got it warmed up. So I'm going to take this ribeye steak, throw it right down on the grate. We'll get this closed up and let it smoke. All right, so I just got the ribeye steak on there, and today I'm using my Z-Grill's pellet smoker. If you haven't seen one of these, they are a fantastic pellet grill. I cannot recommend them enough. They have a very reasonable price for pellet grills. Compared to some of the other companies that make pellet grills, these are much cheaper, but quality is just as good. I've used that Z-Grill's pellet smoker for a numerous amount of cooks, and you have seen them here on the channel if you have been around. Now, I do have a full review video of the Z-Grill's pellet smoker. I will put a link to that at the end of this video, but I'm gonna run my smoker at 180 degrees. I want it super low so it slowly comes up to temp and gets some great smoke flavor. Now, being a thinner cut of meat, I don't want it to overcook, so I'm probably gonna check it every 20 minutes or so to make sure we don't overcook this thing. But I'm thinking about 45 minutes to an hour, this thing will be done and ready for a sear. So I will see you then. All right, the steak's been on for 45 minutes. Check it out. See, it's got a nice mahogany color from that smoke. Let's go ahead and just get a temp check on this. We are right at 125, 126. That is perfect. For Wagyu steak, you really don't want to overcook it. Rare is your best option. Now, for the sear, you have plenty of options. You can throw this on a charcoal grill, throw it in a cast iron pan. Now, if you do that, make sure to take it off, let it rest for about 10 or 15 minutes or so you don't end up overcooking it. Today, I'm going to be using a sous vide torch, so we can go ahead and sear this right off now. And I like to flip it over and sear this side first. And man, does that smell good. Now when I use the sous vide torch, I really like to hit the fatty spots, really crisp up that fat. So let's go ahead and get this side now. And that is perfect. Now another thing I want to mention is if you're doing this on your pellet grill, just be wary of what you've cooked on it and how clean it is. If you've got a ton of grease on that tray down there, you can easily start a grease fire doing it this way. So good suggestion is pull it off and do it on a cold grill. But this is all set. I'm going to pull it off, let it rest for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'll see you back out here to give it a try. And here is our beautiful Wagyu ribeye. This thing smells great. I like to cut it into pretty thick strips. It's got a nice crust on there. Should be medium to medium rare. And there we go. Definitely a nice medium rare. With Wagyu steak, it's not going to be as red as other steaks, but just check that out. What a beautiful ribeye. So let me go ahead and give this a try. Now, if you do use a cast iron skillet or the grill, I would suggest maybe pulling this off around 110. That's depending on how you like your steak cooked as well. Because when you sear in a skillet or a charcoal grill, it's going to cook the steak a little bit more. So you don't want your steak overcooked if you use one of those options. But this came out perfectly, and you could see how tender this Ozark Wagyu beef is. So let me give it a try and see how it tastes. That is delicious. Super tender with a delicious meaty flavor. That is why I highly suggest this Ozark Valley beef. But let me give the cap a try, because this is the best part. So juicy, perfectly cooked through. That's what that nice slow cook on the pellet grill does. Man, highly suggest the pellet grill and the Ozark beef. Be sure to check them both out. Speaking of that, I will put the video to my Z Grills review right over here. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe right over here, and I will put a link to that coupon code for Ozark Valley beef down in the description. I'll also put a link to everything else I like to use in my videos down there as well. But most importantly, get out there and smoke something good.